If I wanted to get my first 100 email subscribers from scratch today, I would not try to go viral on Instagram or on TikTok. I would not post 3 times a day, and I would definitely not try to be on every platform at once. I would use YouTube. I'm going to show you the exact simple plan that I would follow. And the last step is most important because it's the one that actually turns views and into subscribers and then buyers. So if we haven't met yet, I'm Kimberly Latona. I'm a mom of 3 young boys. I have a master's in business, and I've spent the last 15 plus years coaching entrepreneurs and building businesses. Over the past several years, I've built online income streams in part-time hours. And one of the biggest shifts for me was realizing that I did not need to create more content and be everywhere. I needed one platform, one simple system, and one product. Because the goal is not just to get views. The goal is to get the right people off social media, YouTube, Instagram, wherever, and onto your email list. That is where the business starts to become real. So if I wanted my first 100 subscribers fast, I would start with one keyword or topic, not 10, not random content, not whatever I'm inspired to post that day, one lane. Okay, because the more clear that your content is, the easier it is for YouTube to understand who your content is for, what problem you solve, and who to show it to. So, for example, instead of making videos about mindset and routines and meal prep and side hustles and motherhood all at once, I would choose one lane and I would stay there. Trust me, this is difficult coming from a multi-passionate entrepreneur mom with ADHD, okay? But trust me on this one. You need to choose the lane. And that is one of the smartest ways to grow with YouTube if you want predictable traction instead of random activity. So the second thing I would do is I would create one freebie. So not 5 freebies, not a giant library of resources, not a bunch of random opt-ins, just one. Okay. And it would be directly connected to the problem that my content solves. That is really important because the freebie is the bridge between your YouTube content and your email list. And by the way, this is relevant whether you're using YouTube or another platform. I'm just personally talking about YouTube because the growth, the opportunity here is huge and it doesn't require you to post content every single day and make a bunch of videos and reels and that expire after 24 or 48 hours. Okay, so a good freebie should solve a small piece of the problem. Like I like to call it a step zero. Be fast to consume, easy to understand, and make the next step feel obvious. Okay, so for example, if your content is about homeschool routines for busy moms, your freebie might be a daily morning routine without rush, or a weekly activity checklist, or a resource guide. Okay, people don't want it because it's free. People want it because it's useful. So the third thing that I would do is I would use one call to action. This is where people start to get a little scattered. Okay, they tell people to subscribe, follow them on Instagram, check their website, watch another video, join the wait list, buy the product, and download the freebie. That is way too much. If I were trying to get my first 100 email subscribers, I would have one main call to action. Download the freebie. Okay, download the whatever it is that you're offering, whatever it is that your freebie, whatever the title is. So that's it. I would mention it naturally 2 or 3 times in the video because if you don't clearly tell people what to do next, most of them will do nothing. This is one of the reasons why YouTube works so well. You can create a useful video, solve a real problem, and then point people to a clear next step. It's simple. So once someone opts in, I would have one simple email sequence ready. It doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be 17 emails. It just needs to deliver the freebie, build trust, share value, and introduce the product naturally. Okay, that's it. This is where the business gets stronger because now you're not depending on YouTube alone or any social media. You have a way to keep the conversation going. Okay, and that matters because email is still one of the best ways to sell digital products online because people rarely buy from the first second that they find you or meet you. Okay, think about the products that you've purchased. It's probably after you've seen the person a few times at least and you know that they're a real person, it's a real business, you know what to expect. Some people, of course, they impulse buy on the first time that they see you, but most people don't buy the first second that they see you. So they need trust, repetition, clarity, and a reason to keep paying attention. And that is what email gives you. Okay, so the next one is a huge one. If I wanted 100 subscribers that actually matter, I would know what they're being led toward. Okay, which means I would have one product offer in mind if I didn't already have the product created. Okay, even if it's simple, even if it's low ticket, even if it's not fully built yet, because the freebie and the content should both be warming people up for something specific, okay? So that might be an ebook, a guide, a workshop, a mini course, a template bundle, a master resale rights offer, but there should be one clear next step. And that's what makes your list more valuable, not just having subscribers, but having the right subscribers. And by the way, the reason why I think that YouTube is the best platform to sell products online is because it's not just a social media platform. Okay. It's a search engine. You don't have to be online 24/7. You don't have to post multiple times a day. You just need a couple good videos every week that solve a problem and point to one clear next step. That is a much lighter model. Okay. So if I had to summarize the exact beginner path, it would look like this. One keyword or topic. Okay, stay in your lane. One freebie, one call to action that leads to the freebie, one email sequence that delivers the freebie and that shares value, and one product offer. Okay, that's it. Not 5 platforms, not 10 freebies, not multiple offers confusing everyone, not complicated funnels or giant content machine. Okay? That is what I would do to get my first 100 email subscribers, because simple is what gets implemented and implemented is what gets results. So now here's the important part. Your first 100 email subscribers are not just a vanity milestone. Okay. They're data. They show you what people are clicking on, what videos attract the right audience, what freebies people want, what topic is resonating, and what product that might actually sell. Okay. And that is why getting your first 100 subscribers matters so much. It's not about list growth. It's about learning what your audience wants before you build bigger. Okay. And honestly, this is exactly why the Digital Freedom Collective matters so much. Because inside Digital Freedom Collective, I help you build the freebie strategy, the email sequences, the funnel setup, the accountability to actually implement this instead of just learning about it and never following through. So if you've been feeling like this list building has to be complicated, this is your permission to simplify it. You don't need a huge audience or multiple platforms or more noise. You just need one topic, one freebie, one call to action, one simple system. That is enough to get your first 100 subscribers and start making money. And from there, everything gets easier. So if I were getting my first 100 email subscribers with YouTube, I would do this. Choose one keyword topic, stay in your lane, make it one clear freebie, use one call to action in every video, set up one simple email sequence, build toward one product offer, and let YouTube do the heavy lifting over time. That is the simplest path. And now that you know how I'd get my first 100 email subscribers with YouTube, the next question is, how do you validate a digital product before wasting time creating it? And that is exactly what I break down in my next video. So watch that one next, because when you pair these two together, you'll know how to build your list and how to make sure you're selling the right products. See you in the next video.